Hello folks, and welcome back to another Wise Gamer video. In this video we're playing Tales of Symphonia again, but this time we're going to go strictly over the battle system and how the battles work basically in this game. Now, if you want to watch my first video where I kind of go over the game as a review or whatnot, that's going to be in the same playlist as this. Okay, so let's see. This one's going to be all about the battle system. Now, first of all, let's see if there's something I could go over, some things I could go over before I actually go into a fight. And a little bit about the menu. When you open up the menu, and just to let you know, I am using, it's not a Nintendo GameCube controller that I'm using, but it's got the same button names like Y, A, B, X, and all that. The only button that I find on the Nintendo GameCube that most other controllers don't have is what they call a Z button. So you're just going to have to assign in the emulator or whatever system you're using or whatever controller you're using, you're just going to have to assign one of the buttons there to take place of the Z key if you're not using a GameCube controller. So keep that in mind, because we are going to be using that a lot in the battle system. Now, again, here's our tech, which is basically the magic and the skills in the game is called techs. And so it's called TP points is the usage of it. Now down here a little bit about the menu. That's how much TP points it's going to take for me to cast this particular tech or spell. That's how many times I used it. That's the usage down there. Now you have the ability here of actually deleting one of these spells if they become too weak, because it is an auto battle system most of the time, and this way they're not wasting time and TP points on a spell that's not going to do much anymore. So you do have the option up here where it says forget. So I guess that's a source of a way that you could actually delete that spell. And then the Y button is on and off for auto, and then A for execute for most of these. Now the B next to a spell means it's only used in a battle. If you go to somebody who's got a healing spell, I hate that. Okay, let's see. If you go to somebody with a healing spell that they could use anytime, it's going to have like this circle in front of it instead of the B. So you could cast that at any time if somebody's low. Let's see, the X skills. The X skills in this game, you're going to come across from time to time X skill eggs. I think that's what they're called, eggs, or let me double check that. X skill gems. Once you get those gems, and they're specific to each person, this is where you would come and equip it. So if they don't have a gem, there's not much you could do in this menu. Once you equip one of the gems, you cannot remove it, but you can replace it with a higher gem later on that you come across in the game if you want to do that. So that's what the X skills do, and they add more enhancements depending on the level of the gem and the character, for each one of their abilities or whatnot. So that's what the X skills do. Here's where you come and set up your strats you want to use in a battle. Now you could either do this outside of the battle like I'm doing now, or you could do it while in the battle. And here is where you could set up what you want to, how you want them to move, what types of spells, the distance, the range, and all that, which is really cool. Here you can make it where if you're starting to run low on TP points, you could switch it over to one of these, and it's going to make it where they stop using them below 75%. Do not use at all. Moderation, 50%, 25%. So they have a lot of different options. This is how you would assign your guy to move in the battlefield during a battle. They could be closer, they could be range, or whatnot. Now Renee or Rainy, she's my main healer. When I had her on use skills freely, she was just standing there most of the time during a battle, not doing anything. So it's kind of like a wasted space, where I could have replaced her with somebody else that could have actually done something in the fight. But since I switched it to support now, she's getting more evolved in the fight. So she's the only one that I switched out. Everybody else you could see I left defaulted because it's been working fine for me so far. But I'm not that high in the game, so I don't know what to expect that's coming up. Now on support, she's going to do mainly her support magic because she doesn't have any offense magic. She only has defense magic and heals and rinses for poisons or whatnot. So she's the only one that you might want to change this to. Okay, the equipment, because that is part of battle, right? Without the equipment, you really can't fight that well. You can also access this menu too, as we're going to see, in an actual battle. So as far as the battle goes, I think that's pretty much it for the UI system. Outside of battle. So now we're going to go out in the field. And now we're going to fight. Here we are in the open world, and the monsters are visible anywhere you go in this game. World, caves, dungeons. So you could always run around them if you don't want to fight them all. And they don't show up usually every 5 steps, so it gives you a little bit of breathing room in this game. It's not constant fighting. So let's go into a battle, and we'll see what it's going to do. Now, the game is automatically on auto battle. And the auto battle in this game works fantastic. If you have somebody in here with a heal, they're going to heal all the time. They don't wait until the member's almost dead. They start healing almost instantly, which is really good. So you don't really have to worry about anybody wiping on you as long as you've got TP points. They do not use items automatically, though. Now, if you do want to manually cast, you do have that option by hitting the Y button, bringing up this menu right here, and this is all your in-battle things that you can assign them to do. You could set up your UTAC here. I'm going to get into the UTAC next, but here you could go into their I wanted to put that back on. You could go into their tech menu in the battle. Here you could do the strat that I just showed you guys inside the camp there. You could do it while you're in the battle. You could also change their equipment while in a battle. You could, of course, access the items and give somebody an item. And then you could also escape. So you can do it manually if you want to. Now, the next thing we're going to go over is what they call Unison Attacks. Or U-Attacks. Unison Attacks. Unison Attacks you're not going to get until maybe about 8 hours into the game. You're not going to get it right at the start. So if you look for this when you're starting off the game, you're not going to have it. And basically it's this right here. Okay, now this is where you would come to set it up with the abilities that they have. And I try to put my strongest ones in there, which for me right now is level 2s. Now I still have to find out more about what all these other buttons are for, but basically this is how it works. So once we go into a battle, I'll show you more about it. Right down here you're going to see this bar, and mine's already filled up and it's ready to use. Now if you're using a Nintendo GameCube controller, the defaulted button for this is the Z button to kick it in. And basically, it's going to be a sequence of the spells that you have assigned to each particular character. And they're going to cast them all together. Well, not as a combo, but they're going to cast them within that time frame. But the great thing about this is it's not going to use any of these TP points down here. It doesn't take any TP points when you use a Unison attack. Now, if you use those same abilities outside of a Unison attack, it's going to take the TP points. But what I'm going to do now is just do some video magic. Pause it, go rest up really fast. I'll meet you guys back here because I noticed that they're running out of TP points already. And of course, I got to be at a camp that has no rest, so I'm not going to be able to do that. So we're just gonna have to deal with it. Let me switch her out actually, because it's her that's low, and she don't do much in this. Wait a minute. So let me switch her out. Put this girl in there. Okay. I just want to have enough TP points to show you guys the U attack. Go into this battle. Now we're going to hit the Z key. And see those buttons? It's going to show up really fast to the right. You got to catch them just right. I'm still trying to get used to this myself because I only learned this whole ability maybe about an hour ago in the game. So basically you hit the Z button and then you're supposed to, if you noticed, I don't know if you noticed it, but over here it showed up like this. See up on the top here, the sequence of the buttons? Well, that appeared here when you're kicking the Z button. That shows up over here. And you've got to hit those buttons in sequence to actually do those attacks. And I think I missed it. And what I don't understand is one of the buttons you're supposed to use opens up this menu, which to me that kind of screws it up. So I gotta still learn a little bit more about that as I play the game. So basically that's what a Unison Attack does. Okay, it's a combo of them using all their strongest attacks or whatever you assign to them, assigned to that button per player, and it doesn't take up any TP points at all when you're in a Unison Attack mode. And I think we pretty much covered everything as far as the battle system goes right now. You know, a lot of it you're just going to have to learn on your own as you're playing the game. But I think we pretty much covered everything. And I want to thank everybody again for watching Wise Gamer. And as I find out more information about this game, I'm definitely going to share it with you guys. It's a fantastic game. And I really advise getting this game if you haven't played it. So until then, you have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.